Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
This is Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. The movie of the day is Tombstone. It's another movie from the 90s, so you've had plenty of time to watch it, but still want to give everyone a spoiler warning.
And it's a semi-historical, so maybe you can look it up. Which I did after I watched the movie too, but
Oh, you did?
yeah, I did. I was like, man, a lot of these movies nowadays just make up a bunch of crap. So I was like, I'm gonna look this up and see if like some of this stuff is true.
Yeah.
There's some liberties that they took, but
Oh, they
it's
like taking liberties, yeah.
yeah, but it's not as much as like nowadays where it's like they put like based off true events or something in
And
quotations.
it's just like a complete change.
Yeah.
Freaking Cocaine Bear was like that.
Yeah, which yeah, you read that actual story, you're like, what? Like that's you made a whole movie out of like 30 minutes?
The bear was high, they shot it, done. It's like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
it's a 2 hour movie. It was a good movie, I'll give him that though.
Yeah, I have heard that it's a very good movie. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
but yeah, we decided to watch Tombstone from 1993 and
Yes.
is directed by George P. Cosmatos.
Yeah.
But this was I turned around to my girlfriend and I was like, like I don't know, nowadays, man, I don't feel like I get the same reaction as when I was watching this movie and I was like, this is an epic movie. Like it just
Yeah.
looks like it took a lot of work. Everything looked intense and
It was
everything. And
beautiful too.
yeah, I don't know if it was because of the widescreen viewing. I don't know how it came up on your TV and stuff, but like just you can tell like this one looked different and stuff. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of time and kind of cherish into the story for this
Hmm.
movie.
Yeah, even just locations too. Like that felt like they took their time and planned it all out and built it. It's not like the cookie cutter or just the blue screen that you get today.
Yeah, and also thinking about like some of them, like they had some like epic shots for like the sun's at a certain angle, and so the cinematographer, the director was like, "We gotta
Just have to
wait
wait.
until 5 o'clock or something." I don't know.
We have to wait, guys.
Yeah,
Shoot time is at this time. You better be ready.
but I think it adds to just like you end the movie and you're like, I didn't just watch a movie. I watched like it's almost like how like we talk about like the like Star Wars and stuff and some of
Yeah.
these like epic the Godfather. You can tell there's like
Jurassic
meticulous
Park. Just
Jurassic
like,
Park. Yeah,
yeah.
true. Like these giant set pieces and stuff. And so I think that's like one of the main things that kind of like stuck out to me where I was like, man, this thing like has some shots.
Yeah. Like even the shootouts, like that was one of the things I have on my likes. Is like the shootouts were intense. Like shootouts now, like yeah, bullets are flying, but you actually like at least for me when I was watching it, it felt like oh, these are actual bullets flying at these people. And movies now don't feel like that.
That's true because it's like you feel and also when they're like
You see the gun smoke too, and you're like, oh snap.
yeah, you feel it. You're like, man, like this dude Doc Holliday is like halfway dead, but still pointing a gun at my face.
That was one of my notes. I was like, this man looked dead the entire movie.
Yeah, just thinking like he's fucking sweating his ass off. I was like, it's either super hot or he's dying.
He's just dead. He got the polio or something. Got the
But
black lung pop.
like you felt it where like there's a scene where Wyatt Earp's kind of like character is like they just killed the sheriff, that one guy,
Oh yeah.
and then they're in a standoff and like freaking everyone comes over. Fucking Doc Holliday halfway dead just stumbles over and starts pointing guns at everybody.
Fired off.
Yeah, so like you
And then
feel
when
the
his brother got
intensity.
shot, his brother got like shot in the leg or something. Is that was that fight
That
scene or was that the next one? Because
I
there was
think
like a
it's
whole
there's
other
like a
one.
that's the whole the what they call it, the OK Corral shootout and everything
Ah,
where like they go and like ride up on these people and they like kill like the two guys, and that one dude that always tries to like say like, "Oh man, I'm cool. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah, and
like."
then grabs a gun and starts firing at people. And you're like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's like that happened 3 times in the whole movie.
yes. It's like, sir, just sit, just chill, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
or just die
There's
or
that,
leave
yeah.
it. Like here, just go away forever.
So I kept the funny thing, uh, we had a superintendent, it's an older superintendent that was on the project that I'm on. He was the first superintendent we had um, for this project. And he had the poster, not the poster, but like that scene of all of them kind of walking up with their guns and
Oh
all
yeah.
like all black. So he
Uh-huh.
had that on his wall. So he would, it's his computer, and then to the top right next to his computer was that photo. And I was like, that's a dope photo. Like that's a really dope photo. And then I started seeing like, oh, these are the actors. And he's like, yeah, that's from Tombstone. And he was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, and telling me all about it. And I'm like, okay, I'll have to check it out. So the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why this man has this photo from a scene of a movie next
Now,
to his desk.
nowadays, that would probably seen as like intimidation of having that type of photo
Oh, for
in,
sure.
in a work office. But yeah, you definitely feel it. Like I still like why some people will love this movie probably,
Yeah.
and it's to the characters and I think I don't know, like it was crazy to like talking about like I looked up some of these stories afterwards,
Mhm.
like Wyatt Earp died and like it said at the end of the movie too
He died
that
at like
Wyatt
90
Earp
something,
lived
right?
until like 1920 and stuff. And technically there are some people that probably were alive when the movie was writing that kind of I don't know, like that seems like a lot like
Yeah.
a far stretch, but
Like they didn't write
uh
the movie, but they were around. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like you're like one like human removed from like someone knowing Wyatt Earp
Yeah.
and everything. And so it's like it's crazy to know that like and seeing as to like I guess this kind of goes into like maybe what I liked about it because it's like like you felt it where it's like Wyatt Earp thinking that like knowing that he lived to like 1920 something lived through freaking the Wild West, what people explain as the Wild West
Yeah.
and everything, and then probably saw
The
like the
Great
admin.
Depression
Yeah,
almost.
crazy. Like, and then
Yeah.
seeing like life change, like things starting to get modernized and stuff.
Yeah.
And it probably saw a car and
He saw a
like,
car and probably freaked out, or a freaking plane.
yeah.
What are they doing flying? Like, no, 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 no. You take a horse and carriage to the next state, or you get on a train and get to the next state. You're
Yeah,
not
he's
flying
probably
in the
like,
air.
how many people have I shot and killed? Don't go in the sky. But I
That
guess
is
it's
I
like,
did not think about that. That is crazy.
yeah, it's that's the one thing I kind of like about these movies. Like, yeah, they have a historical background and stuff, and not saying it's like whether or not like your beliefs of like whether or not these people were good people and stuff like that's a whole different story. But like
Yeah.
just seeing us and knowing like most of these guys probably never seen anything more mechanical than like stuff in like a jukebox probably, and then they live to like seeing cars and planes and stuff, and so it's like it's amazing to kind of know like the experiences that someone can have and live to sort of that age.
Yeah. Goodness. And especially for back then, like people didn't live that long.
Right, and that's something that I read about too about all of the White brothers, and I read that too that technically he did have three brothers or he had like other
Mhm.
brothers too. But what was intimidating about them was that back then, I think in the Wild West times,
Mhm.
like the typical height of someone was like 5'6", and
Oh, and they
these
were like
dudes
six
were
plus.
6 feet tall. Yeah,
Ugh.
so they were intimidating and they're huge, and a lot of them would describe them as like huge, brawny, muscular people and stuff. So it's like, can you imagine like these fuckers like being brute force of like, and
Oh yeah.
granted, like he didn't
And
have
with
the kill.
guns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Like, like yeah, you're giant, you're towering over us, and you have a gun in your hand. Like,
Right.
there's only
And
so
it's
much I can do.
and a badge on your chest.
Yeah, above the law.
Yeah. But let's go into like actually like what did you like from this movie?
Shootouts. Uh
Just guns, poof poof.
so it was crazy to see so many like actors that are like big time actors now.
Yeah.
That's what blew my mind. Like I didn't know what to expect going into this because like the only reference point I had for this movie was the poster I saw on the guy's desk or near the guy's desk. So to watch it and see all these actors that I know come up, I'm like, oh dang, I didn't expect this person to be in this movie.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that, and then just Wyatt Earp. Like Wyatt Earp is a badass.
Yeah, I think the cast of characters is like something to be desired and how they played them too. And it's like I wonder
Yeah,
like how much like they they like read up on how these people were like thought of back then and everything. Like how much like kind of reading and thought processes did they like would you consider like a method acting type of deal, not like a Daniel Day-Lewis
yeah. I was about to
level,
say.
not that where like you're like when he played Abraham Lincoln, supposedly his wife had to live with Abraham Lincoln for like a month.
Oh my gosh, dude,
So not
that's
at that
intense.
level, but I'm
Yeah,
assuming there's some decent amount of like actually like reading into the past and stuff as to like how
yeah,
these people actually like reacted to certain things.
they had to, especially for like the people that actually acted in the movie. Like they seem like they're legitimate actors. Or
Yeah,
they are
true.
legitimate actors. Everything I've seen them in, they've been good. So they
Yeah,
kind of they took this to heart and were like, okay, we have to play these roles like they would be played.
yeah, true. And I think the two actors that I don't know if you caught it, but that kind of took me by surprise. There
Mhm.
was a very a thick boy, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes,
I was like I like
yes.
you have to like look at him like a little bit. I was like, man, it's Billy Bob
I was like,
Thornton.
what? Like that's not the Billy Bob I know,
No,
man.
not nowadays, man. He
Oh,
looks
of
pretty good
course not.
now.
Yeah,
But and then Charleston Heston.
that's Guardians, right?
No, Charleston Heston from like those
Heston.
all like old movies. Man,
I gotta look up Charleston Heston. Hold on.
yeah. And to as Kai's looking up Charleston Heston, like he's one of those actors that you would not believe at that time that would be for like a 5 minute character basically. Like he's the ranch owner that takes in Doc Holliday when he's sick towards the very end of the movie. And I forget what
I didn't see a
movies.
young photo. He was in Wayne's World.
Charleston Heston, yeah, he was in Friends also as like a random character, but um he's in like these like old epic
Ben
movies.
Hur. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. One of those and stuff, but I'm not living up to Charleston Heston's
The
biography
Ten
right now, but
Commandments,
there you
Ben
go.
Hur, Planet of the Apes. Yeah, this man's big time. I
Yeah,
actually
so
would not have known that. So I'm glad you mentioned.
it was like that was another one where it's like Billy Bob Thornton, and then I was like, man, I was like, is that Charleston Heston? Like, so why is he like that's a big name person to have like as like this random character. But that for me, I think it's like I think just the quality of like the shots were like towards the end when Wyatt Earp kind of gets the gang together and he kind of deputizes everyone to like
Oh yeah,
legally kill all these like
like
cowboys
let's
basically,
go. That was
and
a
they're
that
like
yeah, that part
riding
got
over
crazy.
the horizon and stuff, and it's like this like then it goes into a montage of like them killing a bunch of people and stuff. But and then like the like those like odd, it kind of took me by surprise. The one that kind of comes to mind is when the first time Doc Holliday, he's like gambling for like I think the girlfriend said like it was like 36 hours straight.
Oh yeah,
And then he
he looked
collapses.
super dead. Yeah, when he
Yeah,
looked
and then he
super dead.
collapses. And then the next day when the doctor's in his in his room telling him basically like you have like 2 months to live or 2 years. Like
Yeah.
it's one or the other. And but it's like an over the shoulder shot of the girlfriend kind of listening in on the doctor, kind of checking up on Doc Holliday.
Hmm.
And it's like that weird angle where you're kind of seeing everything all at once. The
Yeah.
reaction of the girlfriend, Doc Holliday just looking like a dead guy, basically. And then the doctor telling him, you're a dead guy. And so, but it's like you kind of got everything all at once and everything.
Yeah.
And that kind of took me by surprise. There was a few
But that's how
shots
it
of that.
should be though. Instead of them like chopping it up, like let's get a close up, let's get a wide. Like just give me one so I see everything.
Yeah, and it's like granted, like back then, like I always kind of hear about like use the film that you got, use
Hmm.
the size of film that you're using and everything. And so why invest in that kind of wide angle shot or like film if you're not going to use it?
Yeah.
And like you kind of say it a few times and stuff like modern kind of movies are kind of like you said chopped together and stuff to kind of get all the angles, and so you see like this very sporadic kind of cut to here, cut to that, cut to that,
Yeah.
where here it's like you're kind of seeing everything all at once. Even when like the OK Corral shooting where like they're shooting everyone, there's cuts to it, but like there's like big kind of angle shots where it's like you see everything all at once, like the guy pointing the gun at the other guy and it's like he's like 10 feet down the way, but you see it all in one shot.
But I
So
think that's
you're
what makes it epic. Like you're able to
yeah,
like really kind of immerse yourself in the shots instead of being like, oh, well, now he's shooting. Okay, now he's shooting, so I'm looking over here now.
yeah, and because it kind of also enables the director and the cinematographer to understand that you don't have just Wyatt Earp. You have
Yeah,
this legend of Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, his other two brothers of the Earp
Morgan
brothers
and
that
Virgil.
yeah, Morgan and Virgil and stuff, and all these other supporting characters around it that you need to show them all at once, because like that was sort of like the big thing about these westerns where it's like, oh, you don't have just one person, like no one's gonna like kind of fault everyone to see westerns and there's like that one kind of not the Dirty Harry guy, but Clint Eastwood kind of character and the Lone Ranger and stuff. But
Yeah,
a lot of times they had other people around them, and so it's like show the cast of characters. You spend a lot of money on all of them probably because
exactly. So we forgot Billy Zane
oh yeah,
and freaking Thomas Hayden Church.
it's amazing like just like looking back on these movies where it's like just from 1993 and you see
Yeah,
kind of just like Bill Paxton. There's some people nowadays that would probably never
know
even
who that
kind of
is.
imagine as to like who Bill Paxton is and stuff, but like he was like in his prime during this time and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of people in here just like just
Yeah, I was just
Bill.
scrolling through IMDb and I'm like, goodness gracious.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Billy Zane, like everyone probably sees him from like I remember every time when he stumbled out of the stagecoach, I was like, damn, this guy's always playing like a douchebag and everything. Like I just
Yeah.
remember him from the Titanic.
I was just, what was I gotta find it. I was just watching something where he's playing himself. Oh, that might have been Zoolander.
Yeah.
It might have been Zoolander that he's playing himself. And he was in The Boys. What the heck?
Man, I did not know he was in The Boys.
Yeah. I forgot he was in The Boys. He's in Zoolander too.
He's everywhere.
Zoolander number two. Yeah. I don't know if he's in number one.
It shows
For
him
some
as
reason I want to say
in
he
number
was
one.
okay. I was yeah, I kind of remember that. I thought he was one of like Hansel's friends or something.
Oh, and they all like kill themselves at the at the gas station.
No, no, no. That's Derek. That's Derek. Hansel is Owen Wilson.
Oh,
When he
okay.
had that like compound of like all the hottest models and like he had little people and all kinds of stuff.
But I don't know. What would you take as like a negative from this movie?
I actually didn't put anything down.
No,
No.
for me, I feel like it. I to be honest, and after I watched the movie,
Hmm.
actually I didn't care that Wyatt Earp. They showed Wyatt Earp go and like find that like actress lady that he liked. I didn't care about
So
that actually.
how did she never die?
Which one?
It, Josephine. I could have swore I saw Josephine like near multiple shootouts, or that might have been the other lady.
Oh well, no. Remember like in that one, like that big shootout, like they were shooting at the wall, and
Yeah,
I was like, they're totally gonna kill off this lady. Like she's gonna
that's
like
what I'm
end up like,
saying.
yeah. But just the good graces of
Of movie magic.
yeah, fucking. Someone said, "Don't kill her off because she's a
We
lot of
need
money."
her.
But to be honest, I didn't care about that. I was like, honestly, I would have loved the movie to end when Doc Holliday laughs to himself, says, "This is funny," and he fades away.
That would
And
have been a good ending. Yeah.
I feel like that would, and it's funny because again, I looked it up. I looked it up, and he did say that supposedly, like a
Oh
nurse
wow.
overheard him say that to himself, and then he dies.
Oh my
and
goodness.
uh and so I was like, that would have been perfect. I don't know why,
Yeah.
because but the movie's about
It's
Wyatt
about
Earp, so you
Wyatt
kind
Earp.
of have to
Yeah.
like tie up the loose ends and stuff. But I don't know. For me, I was like, I really didn't care about that, but I
Mhm.
know that was part, and that's the woman that he ends up spending like
The rest
till
of
I
his
think
life with.
his dying days and stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but I guess it's
Yeah.
like
They
whatever.
turned it
Then
into a love story.
I guess you kind of have to that because like his other lady was like some like opium junkie and stuff, so
Oh yeah.
like she was just wasted the whole time. But yeah, and then you overhear that like I think the ending narration is that woman ended up dying like 2 years after, like she ends up going to California, I think. Right. And so,
Yeah.
but that's my only downside, I think. I think everything else was a good story.
Yeah.
They had good villains.
Yeah.
Like the main
Yeah.
cowboy guy with like his you basically that's kind of how you want to like set up a villain, where it's like he starts off the movie by killing some random people, and you already like register in your mind this
He's
guy's
a
the bad
bad
guy.
person. Yup.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like the only downside for me, is that like kind of like picking up the loose ends at the end.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Because I was watching it and I was like, okay, cool. I like this. I would jot down a little note here, but there was nothing like really glaring other than what you had mentioned and like the fact that Josephine just never got killed. But I didn't really have anything I truly disliked.
Well, you said basically like that was like the love connection. Come
Yeah.
on. Him and Doc Holliday were like in love with each other. Come on.
That was a better love story.
Yeah, that was like true best friends. And to be like Wyatt Earp being a lawman, whether or not you want to consider him like a true lawman of like
Mhm.
how many people he killed and stuff. But Doc
Yeah.
Holliday was this person that had the notoriety of like having killed multiple men. I think reading up on his history, it was like a lot of people believed he killed like over a dozen men, but
Goodness.
a lot of people in like when they look back at all the stories, they believe he probably killed like three or four, which is
Wow.
no
Still a
kind of
lot.
like still you're still killing like random people,
Yeah.
but it's not to the notoriety. But that kind of shows you like how even like when he's like walking around and like Wyatt Earp is trying to like not be Wyatt Earp, like stories travel and stuff. And like back then they didn't have news, they didn't have the radio, they didn't have like
Social
TV.
media.
Yeah, so they're like they hang on to these hero stories and stuff. And back then probably you like never like left your kind of like story.
Yeah. Goodness.
But
Yeah. People now couldn't even imagine that.
right.
They post a new story every couple of
Yeah.
days.
Right. It's like and they're like, read it, everyone read it. Well, to granted, we're contributing to that by recording ourselves right now,
Very true.
but
Very true.
but definitely listen to this, please. But what would you have rated it? I didn't actually look at your rating.
Oh, because I just rated it right before we got on this call.
He's trying to
Yeah.
keep it secret.
No, I just like because I didn't know how to rate it. So I finished it last night and I was like, I need to rate this. And then I couldn't figure out how to rate it. but I end up giving it a 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4
Okay.
because it's funny because like my girlfriend and I were watching, I forget what we were watching Roadhouse,
Oh
and
goodness.
which is a great movie within itself. But I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Roadhouse, and I was like, I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
So we watched Roadhouse and stuff, and I was like, how what would you rate it? And so she gives me a rating, and she wanted to rate it pretty high in a scale of like 1 to 5.
Hmm.
And I was like, the way I kind of think about it is that a 5, the should be something that kind of moves you as
Hmm.
like the Godfather. I think no matter what, even if you don't like Al Pacino as a actor, you don't like the whole story of the mobsters and stuff, and the whole kind of Don Corleone type of like background and stuff, you can still watch that movie and understand that this is a almost great put together movie.
It's a piece of
Like
art.
it, yeah. And so you can consider that as a piece of art where it's like it kind of moves you emotionally. So I kind of keep that as a threshold for 5, for in a 5, like Parasite
Mm.
is something that kind of like it made you think. It made you
Hmm.
kind of like sit on the edge of your seat and you're like, what's kind of around the next corner and stuff? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on with this family? So stuff like that. And then that's where I kind of like start to like notch back things as I watch the movie and everything. Like, all right, like this is not at the level of like Godfather. So like,
Yeah.
where's it at? And so I kind of like keep other movies in like a
As a
4.
reference
Like
point.
here's
Yeah.
like yeah, here's like reference points and stuff. So that's kind of like the way I kind of go about it.
But we still stayed pretty consistent or pretty close in ratings.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny because like watching all these movies together,
Hmm.
like we're pretty close, like you said, like
Yeah.
on our rating scales, and so it's like, and it's like we're open to watch kind of any movie too.
Everything. We watched
Yeah.
Marcel the Shell. Like, come on.
Come on, yeah, but who doesn't want to watch that? Everyone watch Tombstone and then watch Marcel the Show right afterwards. It's a good night.
Hey, honestly, you're not lying.
So, but I think that's the whole thing about this, like where it's like a lot of people ask us, like, "Oh man, like I'm like, why do you watch so many movies?" It's like I don't know, it's a time to forget life.
Yeah.
Like sometimes life sucks, and so you just want to watch a movie, and it like makes you forget that
Be
for like two
distracted
hours.
for 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it takes you, it like transports you to a different
Hmm.
world. You kind of know as to why probably people like during like Tombstone era and stuff, like when all this is going around, why they went out to go watch someone like Billy
Gunfights.
Zane's character to do a speech in front of them from like some like Roman times, or someone making a deal with the devil and stuff. So like why do people go to theater? So you kind of know as to why, like, or go watch gunfights and stuff in the middle of the street because they want to forget about things. But would you, to our last question, would you
Hmm.
buy this for your personal movie collection?
I would. I actually want to watch it again, like down the line, like few months down the line, but I want to watch this again.
Yeah, and I think we have a plan to kind of like watch more westerns after
Yeah.
this too. I think our next one is another western too, and
No,
so
it's
just
not. It's a boxing
no.
movie.
Which one? Oh yeah,
It's a
yeah.
boxing movie.
We had just talked about this too. But
The one after that is a Western, yes.
yes. But yeah, but like in terms of all this, it's like I think visiting it again,
Mhm.
and seeing as to like again how epic it was and stuff, and
Yeah.
all that. But I think definitely I probably will look after this, like where can I find it on like a blue, like a 4K
Hmm.
kind of like box set or something. I think definitely it will kind of sit next to what I have now as my Criterion collection, and physical movie collection grows.
I'll get you a poster.
Yeah, there you go. See, I gotta start sprucing up my office and everything.
There you go. A big old tombstone poster.
Yeah, I'm gonna take down my my degree and stuff and put a Tombstone poster up.
Hilarious. Like this isn't important
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, come on. But yeah, any last thoughts?
uh Other than everyone needs to check out Tombstone. No.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's funny because like we probably say that quite often, but it's
Yeah.
like this one for sure. It's like even if you're like not looking for a western, I don't know. This is just fun and an interesting story. So just might as well try it out. It is
Yeah.
long. There's no doubt about that. It was like an
But it
hour and
didn't
like or like
feel, yeah. It
like
was like two,
yeah, it was like
a
two
little over
or
2 hours.
yeah. So but it yeah, true. Like it didn't feel like it.
No, because there's plenty of movies that feel like, oh my goodness, I'm still watching this movie.
Yeah.
But this one just felt it was enjoyable all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. But but yeah, no, I think so. I think this is a very good movie, and we totally ruined it by telling you Doc Holliday dies, but I'm assuming all of them are dead now. So
Yeah.
but
From the 1920s. Or it's
yeah,
from way before the 1920s.
yeah. So yeah, I know, right? Way before 1920s, but yeah. All right, Kai, you want to take us out?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week for another one.